Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Good news for the Tigray People Liberation Front, showing how TPLF and PM Abiy's government are working closely despite some differences. They seem to be on good terms. Today's development indicates. Secondly, 30 non governmental organizations have written a letter about the UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, whose mandate is due to expire in coming weeks. What do these 30 non-governmental organizations want from the UN about Special Rapporteur on Eritrea? Firstly, we would Tigray People Liberation Front. We know that when war broke out between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian Federal Forces in November 2020, after that, TPLF was declared a terrorist entity. Both TPLF and OLA were declared terrorist entities in 2021. Though we know TPLF is a political party, it was an armed group. It was part of armed resistance against dogs. It became part of EPRDF. It rather formed EPRDF. It ruled from 1991 till 2018. Then EPRDF was dissolved. Prosperity Party came into being, and TPLF refused to be part of the Prosperity Party, and TPLF was restricted to Tigray. But after that, we saw start of war. And after the war, as I said, during the war, rather, TPLF was declared terrorist entity. When war ended in November 2022 through Pretoria deal, after that TPLF filed a case, an appeal at NEBE, National Election Board of Ethiopia, for re-registration or restoration of its status. Before that, Ethiopian parliament voted and it removed terrorist label from TPLF. I think Ola is still a terrorist entity according to Ethiopian law, because both Ola and TPLF were declared terrorist entities after Parliament voted in support of the move in 2021. Then in 2023, TPLF was removed through a Parliament vote from the terrorist list. Ola is still there. But TPLF was not restored as a political party. It filed a case at NEBE for restoration of its status. NEBE rejected TPLF's case. NEBE says that it would be against law to restore TPLF as a political party. TPLF should apply for a new registration with a new name. TPLF refused to apply for a new registration. It said that it wanted restoration of its status, same name, Tigray People Liberation Fund, and talks were held between Tigray leaders, TPLF leaders, and federal government leaders. And we have seen 2 rounds of discussion between TPLF and Prosperity Party too. And TPLF leaders have been saying that they wanted restoration of their original party status as TPLF. It seems that now Ethiopian parliament is going to give this relief to the Tigray People Liberation Fund. Today, Ethiopian Council of Ministers approved some draft amendments which will eventually turn into law. I think one of these draft amendments is about armed groups. Armed groups which want to register as political parties, they can register. This provision allows them to register as political parties. Now, the interpretation of this draft amendment, which is being made by experts, is that it is about TPLF. Obviously, other armed groups can also make use of this draft amendment to register as political parties. But now people say that ground is being prepared for the restoration of TPLF status as a political party. Under this draft amendment, if it is passed, TPLF would be able to apply for the restoration of its political status. It would get the same status, same logo, same name, Tigray People's Liberation Front. Obviously, an important development. People have been saying that federal government wants to impose war on Tigray. It was reported, but Tigray-backed news sources, I don't want to name anyone, they said a few days ago that federal government was fully prepared to wage war on Tigray, but all were rumors, exaggeration. In fact, TPLF and federal government seem to be on one page on several issues. That is why in Raya, TPLF is being allowed, Tigray is being allowed to enter, to expand their control. And Varade says that agreement has been reached about dismantlement of interim structures in Salamti, Humera Volka, Sagade. That remains to be seen. But Varade's talk was not rejected by the federal government. It means that yes, federal government and government have reached an understanding about how to end the interim government backed by Mahara region in Salamti in Humera Volka sector. So the two seem to be on good terms. TPLF is going to be restored as a political party, and it will pave the way for TPLF to contest as a party in election. Election due to be held in Tigray sooner or later. But before the holding of election, obviously TPLF must be entitled to be part of elections. The TPLF was demanding restoration of its status to be in a position to contest in the election, which will be held in Tigray. So that's why now saying the ground is being prepared for restoration as a party. Second, viewers, 30 non-government organizations have written a letter to the UN about UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, whose mandate is expiring, I think, in July. The UN Special Rapporteur was appointed by UN Human Rights Council years ago. His task is to monitor human rights situation in Eritrea and report it to the Human Rights Council of the UN. Eritrea opposed the appointment of UN Special Rapporteur since day one. It never allowed UN Special Rapporteur Abdislam Babikar from Egypt, I think, to enter Eritrea. So the UN Special Rapporteur has been reporting by being abroad. Distant reporting is being done by Abdislam Babikar, and he submits these reports at UN Human Rights Council meetings. Eritrea wants termination of the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur, saying that UN Human Rights Council's decision to appoint a Special Rapporteur on Eritrea was meant to put pressure upon Eritrea, and it was an agenda by global powers, Western powers, to colonize Africa. The CJP, Committee for Protection of Journalists, and the 30 other non-government organizations have written a letter to the UN. They want extension of the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur. They say that in Eritrea, massive human rights abuses are being committed. There is no other main international forum where the reports about human rights violations are being considered. That is why UN Human Rights Council should not terminate the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur. His mandate should be extended. So let's see what happens when the voting will be held, I think. Who will support the extension of the mandate? What about European countries, US? Will they support extension of mandate? If they want to renew ties with Eritrea, they might not support the extension of the mandate of UN Special Rapporteur. That will be clear in coming months. Thank you for watching.